How do you handle conflict in a healthy manner? What I mean by conflict is tension caused by differing wants and needs. And that tension can result in different expressions, such as disagreements or avoidance or maybe attacking. There's all kinds of responses to this tension, but this tension is a fact of human life. There's no community without conflict. In fact, if you want to have deep, intimate relationships, being able to lean into conflict rather than running away from them all the time is going to be an essential skill. Get at the underlying emotion and the underlying thoughts and feelings behind the conflict, behind what's upsetting you, because it's not the other person's job to dig that out for you. Even if the offense is 90% their problem, your part, your responsibility is to own your 10%. Owning your part invites an attitude of openness and repair in the relationship. Remain open to the possibility of repairing with this person, but sometimes you need to avoid that person to protect yourself and to not put yourself in a position of being re-victimized. Don't let a bitter root of anger in your conflict start to develop so that they poison your relationships. Deal with them swiftly or quickly if you can. What does it mean to explore someone's story? What it means, first of all, is to listen to what that person is actually saying, and then to summarize their thoughts and feelings back to them. Your perception may be more true than someone else's or more accurate. It could be, but it might not be. You don't know that until you check in with the other person. Because most conflicts, not all, but most of them, at their heart, are based on some kind of misunderstanding. You ever get to that point in a conversation where you're like, if I go any longer, I'm gonna lose it? In that case, what I would recommend is that you take a timeout, you request a timeout, and then you follow up after. Repair is any attempt or action on your part to build a bridge towards the other person. When you feel understood and the other person feels understood, then you can go into solution exploration. Now that we've understood each other and we've clarified what the issue is, why don't we just sit down and brainstorm some ideas and come up with some ideas of how we might fix this issue?